and welcome into To Your Health. And of course, we're starting the year 2022 with the invitation for a new you in 22. Learning how to exercise, eat the right foods for nutrition, and of course, look after your health the best way you can. Carl Schmidt's back with me again. You're a naturopath.
Yes.
You run the herb shop, which is located in Montgomery, Alabama on Vaughan Road. And Carl's often told me this, but everyone's told me this. Sometimes that you are hungry, you may not be hungry at all. You may be thirsty because basically, what percentage of our body is water?
Well, when we're born, we're almost 80 to 85% water. And then the average person near the end of their life could be as low as 40% water.
Wow.
So,
and what should be the ideal? Where should you be?
60 to 70%.
60%, 70%. And
for the average adult.
And of course, if you're not drinking water, eventually a lot of things get affected in your body.
Right. Well, because we are like a river inside, and we have to
everything flows in us, right?
Flows.
Yeah.
And many people, for example, blood pressure medicines could be prescribed because the blood is actually too thick and it's hard to pump. And so because of that thickness in the blood, it's like pumping something really thick.
Right.
So by drinking more water day in and day out, our body can get better hydrated at the blood vessel, blood flow, blood count level, and that can help just cardiac and cardiovascular health. But then the way our brain needs water, if our brain is dry, we can have trouble with memory recall and focus and attention. And so there's many components to our vision, for example. Our eyes can be dry, and that could affect our quality of vision and other factors. And then a dry mouth, when we don't secrete enough saliva, it could affect our oral health, our teeth health, and it could affect other issues. So there's everything is a factor depending on hydration. And I recommend that people take their body weight, divide that in half, and drink that number of ounces on a day. And furthermore, if it's really best to drink the bulk of your fluid away from food. So if you're well hydrated,
don't drink it while you're eating your meal.
If you're well hydrated, you'll be able to have the saliva to start breaking down carbs and starches in the mouth, and your stomach will produce enough hydrochloric acid to dissolve proteins, and your gallbladder and pancreas will have enough hydration and fluids and alkalinity to do the work on fats. So without that hydration, we want to rinse our food down with a gulp of something because we're dehydrated. So it's a clue when you want to drink a lot of fluid during a meal that you probably are dehydrated and haven't had sufficient hydration.
Wow, and you're not just sitting there thinking, okay, I took a bite, got to have something to wash it down. That's amazing. Is there a better time of the day to start this hydration process? Early on, as early as possible?
It's a good principle. If you're a coffee drinker, for example, it's really best to have a big glass of water when you first get up, because that's when you're going to be the most dehydrated. It's because your bladder took in water overnight, and you need to get that water back into you.
And when you say a big glass of water, at least 8 ounces at the minimum. And you could do 12 if you can handle it. And then the other thing about it is, doesn't the caffeine in coffee kind of...
It's a diuretic.
It kind of makes the...
Counterproductive.
Counterproductive, yes. Yeah. That's
and
amazing.
Iced tea and many things are diuretics.
Right.
So
if you can go decaffeinated, you're going to be better off. Or go with a natural tea.
Right, an herbal tea. If you can transition to an herbal tea from coffee, those are less hard on the kidney and other vital organs.
Right. And they have some good health issues that help you too. Yeah.
And the kidneys definitely need hydration. So to do their part. So hydration, there's a doctor wrote a book, Your Many Cries for Water, and he was an Iranian prisoner, and he was a doctor, but he was in this prison camp in Iran in the 70s, and he helped a lot of people by just getting them to drink more water. He saw their conditions, and the only resource he had was just hydration. It wasn't even good water, but it was able to do something, and he saw improvements in their health by just simply regularly hydrating the people.
You said a key word there, good water. Is there a difference in water?
Well, yes, water. Our world is polluted. I mean,
Okay.
we have such a awareness of pollution now that we didn't have. Big cities like Flint, Michigan, were in the news in the last recent years of how polluted their water is. So yes, there's a strive to clean the water, but in the cleaning of the water, we often throw the good out with in the process when we're throwing the bad out. So we've got to analyze and think, how good is this water? So one feature of water is that it's still alkaline. So when you over filter the water, you remove so many minerals that are beneficial for the body. These trace minerals have a purpose, and your body needs those trace minerals. But when you like distilled water or reverse osmosis water, they're going to have a pH below neutral. So our blood is a pH of 7.365. I say it's easy to remember because there's 7 days in a week and 365 days in a year.
That is easy.
So our blood is a little bit alkaline, the neutral is 7. So we've got to have that alkalinity to support the bloodstream and all biochemical processes. If you're rushed to the hospital, they'll do, for an accident, say, they're going to check blood gases, which is really checking pH. And that's how important your pH is all the time. So you've got to have that alkalinity. And we give away free water that's alkaline, and it's got other features. It's microclustered, so we call it wetter water. It hydrates the cells better.
Right. So if you're, like right here, I've got a bottle of water sitting back there, which I forgot to offer you when we started here.
Thank you.
But if you're going to get a bottled water, they're not all created equal either, are they?
No. And then the container of the water is...
is not good for you
It may
normally.
not have... It may be an inexpensive plastic that could leach heavy metals like antimony. It could also have different BPH is an abbreviation for a type of plastic. So we've got to be careful, that somebody went to the trouble of filtering and then they put it in something that's going to give you another contaminant.
Yeah.
So that's why we dispense water at the herb shop.
Good. Remember this? He's on Vaughan Road, open 6 days a week. It's called the Herb Shop. And we want to have you become the best version of yourself you can be. We want a new you in 22, and good health will do it. And we'll be right back right after this.